we are still in the book of Joshua, and I was giving a synopsis of Joshua and how what he was doing in his life the entire time before God chose him to lead the nation of Israel. In the life of Joshua, in his life, you see, Joshua started serving the man of God, Moses, in his entire youth. Are we together? Joshua served Moses, and Joshua was obedient to the man of God, Moses. Because, ladies and gentlemen, serving is something that is spiritual. Serving is something that is biblical. Serving is something that is godly. And all these people who have received a mantle were servants of God. Are we together? So this man, Joshua, and if you do your scripture, you will learn that Elisha was a servant. He served his family in the farm. After serving his family, he served Elijah. So when the time of Joshua, when that time came, it was Elisha who received the double portion. Are we together? So serving is, from my perspective, it is a godly thing. And there is reward from being a servant. There is reward from serving, because when Elisha served his parents, his farm, it was God who told Elijah, go and appoint Elisha to take over the mantle. Now, if you read the scripture, you'll realize that it was God who told Moses to appoint or to anoint Elisha to take the children of Israel to the promised land. So the business of going to the promised land was not child's play. Are we together? Welcome to this channel. If you're new to this channel, I will be very happy to host you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the problem with our generation, as I came to understand it, is that most people expose our leaders. Leadership, ladies and gentlemen, comes from God. But the problem that is happening is that the youth or the protocol team or other people who are around the men of God, they expose them to the dangers of this world. They expose them either by action or by lack of action. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when the secrets of a man of God, if they are exposed to the wrong people, then the man of God will be prey for these bad people. Are we together? So, ladies and gentlemen, so if we are not willing, sir, we are full of hatred, our intentions are crooked, we cannot serve, we are not fit to serve. Are we together? If you are full of envy, you're full of jealousy, then you won't be able to manifest the love be able to manifest the work of God when you are required to manifest. And that is why you can see people are, this generation of the Israelites, they delayed in the desert for more than 40 years because number one, they were rebellious. Number two, they were full of jealousy and envy, and they were always ready to stone the man of God, Moses. Are we together? So that lack of cooperation, that lack of discipline, that lack of self, being able to analyze yourself, made it impossible for that generation to go to the promised land. Are we together? So the Israelites, I'm reading from Joshua chapter 4, verses 8. So the Israelites did as Joshua commanded them. They took 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites, as the Lord had told Joshua, and they carried them over with them to their camp, where they put them down. Joshua set up the 12 stones that had been in the middle of the Jordan at the spot where the priests carried the Ark of the Covenant had stood, and they were right there, and they are there to this day. Are we together? That is something that is very interesting. When they crossed the Jordan, they took 12 stones, and they what? And they set the 12 stones, each stone representing the 12 tribes of Israel. And those stones are there up to this day. Those stones that were collected from the middle of the Jordan, they were used. They carried them to their camp. Those stones that they found in the middle of the Jordan, they took them to their camp where they put them down. I think they constructed an altar in their camp. Now the priests, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'll be more than happy to host you. Now the priests who had carried the Ark of the Covenant, standing in the middle of the Jordan, until everything the Lord had commanded Joshua was done by the people, just as Moses had directed Joshua. Okay, you can see here from this, you can see the people, for them to cross the Jordan. It was done in a not just in a hurried manner, but they were waiting to hear from the Lord for them to move ahead. Are we together? But most people consult witch doctors. Most people consult diviners. Most people consult terrible people before they move. And once you're not under the cover of God, everything that you do becomes a failure. But whatever is born of God must conquer this world. Are we together? If you're new to this channel, you can like, you can share. I'm very happy to be here. You can be part of this program by telling me where you come from. I'll be more than happy to help you. Of Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh crossed over, ready for battle, in front of the Israelites as Moses had directed them. About 40,000 armed men for battle crossed over before the Lord to the plains of Jericho for war. Are we together? So you can see here in the book of Joshua, the movement was different from the book of Exodus or from the book of Deuteronomy, where you can see here every step there was something that was happening, something great. You understand? You see here, that day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they stood in awe of him all the days of his life, just as they stood in awe of Moses. If you're new to this channel, kindly welcome. I'll host you. If you have any issue, you can. I I hope it's very clear. You can hear me. Then the Lord said to Joshua, command the priests carrying the ark of the covenant to come out of the Jordan. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. So Joshua commanded the priests come out of the Jordan. And the priests came out of the Jordan carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord. No sooner had they set their feet on the ground than the waters of the Jordan returned to their place and ran in flood as before. Ladies and gentlemen, may God bless His word. I want to welcome you all to your happy hour. I said this month we are reading the scripture. We are going very quickly. I want us to read the scripture, and I want us to, by the time we are at the end of the month, we should be able to read the scripture, finish reading the scripture, and focus on other things. So if you're new to this channel, welcome, and I'm very happy to host you. On the 10th day of the first month, the people went up from the Jordan and camped at Gilgal on the eastern border of Jericho. And Joshua set up at Gilgal the 12 stones that are taken out of the Jordan. And he said to the Israelites, in the future, when your descendants ask their parents, what do these stones mean? Tell them, Israel crossed the Jordan on dry land. For the Lord your God dried up the Jordan before you until you had crossed over. The Lord your God did to the Jordan what he had done to the Red Sea when he dried it up before us until we had crossed over. He did this so that all the people of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God. Welcome to this channel, and I hope that we are together and reading the word of the Lord. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to be very honest. I want us to focus on reading the word of the Lord because it is the truth. But let us not focus on politics of hatred. Let us not focus on politics of division. But let us have shared beliefs, because I know that that is the will of God. The politics